Hi, Sandy here. I finished another glue book. I always make them the same way. I always make them out of 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, and I bind them myself. And then recently, I had left them like this, and recently I made covers for all of my books. This is my 12th book I've made. And I used just some white duct tape. I don't know if that was the right kind of tape. And then I wrote the name on there with Sharpie, but it kind of rubs off. Maybe it's better now. It rubbed off when it was fresh on some of the other books a little bit, but maybe it'll be alright. Anyway, so this one is called Dogs and Cats. And this front cover, I decided I don't like a lot of glued on things on the front and the back, because when I put them in the bookshelf, they bump against each other and things start coming loose. So this is an old calendar page, and I cut it down to size and made that the cover, so it's all smooth and there's nothing to get bumped. Then I just took a piece of solid scrapbook paper and cut it to size and glued it in there. So here's a cat. I used a piece of envelope, inside of an envelope, just mixed and matched stuff. I usually make a lot of Victorian books, but I've got a lot of other things I've saved, and was starting to build up a lot of dogs and cats, so I made a dogs and cats one. And I like to make tags, and I made this one. That's very basic for me, but I stuck that on there. And this is a lot like my cat. My cat is orange and fluffy, and it doesn't have that white there. Anyway, so and then this one, this is all one sheet here. It's like fairy furniture somebody had made with a cat making the rules. And then this one, I don't know, I just glued a lot of things on the page. It's not really very collage-y. It's a lot of really cute things, though. My daughter really likes this page. And I got this one. I got these numbers. I don't know what I would have ever used them for, but they look pretty neat on this page. And then this one, the dog was holding a sign of something, so I just put a label on it and covered it up. I added the heart, vase of flowers. There's a dog. I added a puzzle piece. I don't like to add a lot of bulky things because they do rub against each other. I'm used to scrapbooks with page protectors, and I've only been doing glue books about a year, and things rubbing together, I got to get used to that. And this one I had a little fun with. I put a dog's face on a lady. This dog is so cute. He's so big. Wag more, talk less. And this one is I am not a rabbit. This is from an ad. You know, a lot of dog foods have too much grains and stuff, and he needs meat in his dog food. So I had some oatmeal decorated like a rabbit and a cookie decorated like a rabbit. So I added those and just some cute things. Just mix and match stuff. I really like cutting out these crossword puzzle backings. I think they really add a lot of interest to a page. They're interesting. And here's a cat in a house, the cat litter. When you're too busy to scoop, odor can take over. This is the way the cat was in the magazine. I didn't turn it sideways. He's standing on his head. Treats for every wacko cat. This dog is so cute. This is one of my tags that I make. I try to add a few tags because I am obsessed with making tags that I decorate my scrapbook pages. I make too many of them, but hey, I don't think I can have too many. And this one, I used up some scraps and I glued some strips. They come to about here, and then I decorate it. And I just put it aside until I decide to make a page with it. And so then that's what I started with, and added the dog and this picture of tulips, and And I recently did a lot of these. I made a video of it too. Simple embellishments. It's just some magazine pictures. You glue it onto colored paper and trim it with your decorative scissors. So simple. These, I have a few of these, and oh my God, what am I going to do with those? I've had them for a while, and I don't use them in my scrapbooks. I just can't figure out, but I've been using them up in my glue books, and that's, you know, use it up, use it up. That's what I love. Then I can get more stuff. There's a, it looks like a St. Bernard mix, maybe. One free kiss, get some good dog slobbers with a bird. I like to use a lot of birds. And here, this is one of my favorites. I had this picture of the Dalmatian. You can barely see it with all the spots, so I added a lot of black and whites. And there's another one of my crossword things, and so I made it all black and white. My daughter had a poster book. This was on the cover of the poster book, and I saved that. And then I cut out some of the pictures from the posters. This one was one of the posters. It wasn't big posters, it was just small posters. And this one, good for one giant hug. And I just like to use stuff up. And I had these butterflies, and I added the cat, meow, purr. And then I added some yellow embellishments here. And a bird here, and the golden retrievers. They're my favorite. I used to have one here. We had him about 9 years. Then he died of cancer 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And here's a dog with some toys. And I have another dog in here with toys, I think. They like to use the same idea in 2 different ads. And I added some color pencils and just some colorful things. This is another one of those posters. I cut it down and put it in here. And the black and white dog. Then I had this, and I added that. I really like that. And this, a cat looking up at the birds. There's like in a garden, and there's this yard statue. Dream when I catch the birds. Mischievous is my middle name. Yeah, that's cute. A dog on the porch loving you is so easy. I try to use up stuff that I've had in my stash that I just, for years, and I've had this for years. This was on the cover of some embellishments I had gotten, and I cut it out and saved it because it was interesting, but I never really had any use for it. And I did add this little thing on the front of it, but I used it up. And then I've had this for a long time and never used it, so now I've used that. And these are, I have a lot of these cards, and I need to use up more of these in my pages. I just love using things up. That's what it's about. Here's another one of the big cards, and that's just perfect. Best day ever. Another one of those flowers that I need. And look at the background on this. Sometimes my daughter and I will go out in the garage, and we'll just take a bunch of computer paper and just paint on it to our heart's content with watercolors. And growing up, she's in 11th grade now, ever since preschool, when you got to buy those paint sets every year for the kids. And I'm a hoarder. I just keep saving them, and they've been piled up all these years, a little bit used, and I buy her a new one for school. And so I took all of the little color circles out of those paint by number trays, and I got some little cups, and like put all the red ones in one cup, all the blue ones in a cup, and so on. So then, and I got them out, there's 9 colors I have, I think. And then I put them in a little square cake pan, and they just fit really nice in there. Then I add some water, and we get our brushes, and then we got a nice little mix of color, and we just go to town. And there was ones back here. We did some splattering. This one, well, I added these little glitter hearts to it, but we did splatter. That's fun too. But we do it out in the garage so we don't mess up the house. And moving on, there's a cat. And I had this wild thing. I don't know what I would have ever done with it. It was my wild cat. It's kind of cute. Here's a dog in the mud. But it looks like he's come out of the ocean. He's all wet. This one's funny. The cat's got to go pee really bad. It's for a litter box ad. When nothing goes right, go left. He looks kind of desperate there. It's kind of cute. This was one of those posters, and I added this house. It's just a trim of a house, not a real house, but I liked it. There's another one of my little embellishments I made. There's birdhouse and birds. And then this one that included the cat food bag, so I left it on. I cut around that. There's more of our splattered paper. I just added some greenery and some trees. And this dog running, and like through a garden. And I use a lot of scraps, and I make borders. And then I decorate the borders for my scrapbook pages. Well, this is just a base that I will decorate another. Well, I was gonna decorate another time, but I just added one to my book. I use my scraps. I use a lot. I don't have a lot of scraps all the years I've been decorating because I make an effort to use them, and I enjoy it. And here's a dog. I think that might be the same dog that I put on that lady's face. Yes, that's that same dog. Look, there it is. There it is. Yeah, you can reuse the stuff. And then this is out of a magazine, I think from like 1985, of Mrs. George Bush. Not Laura, Barbara. And their dog, Millie. And when she had puppies, I remember seeing that in the magazine way back then. And then I picked this up at a thrift shop, and I made this with some of the pictures of Millie and her puppies. And here's a dog in the dog house. He's like knocked out of the house because he's got fleas, so there's his dog house. Then this is a page from a smaller Victorian calendar. It's a bunch of cats. And I really like how this page turned out. This is a picture out of actually a local newspaper here in Omaha. And it looks really good. Our city doesn't look that good, but the picture is really good. And then this church steeple or whatever it is, and I added an owl. That's another one of my embellishments I made out of a magazine picture. Here I added some print from a magazine. Another one of my embellishments. I'm really using those embellishments. I spent a day or two making a whole bunch of them with like Victorian houses. I have a building section from the stuff I've been saving from magazines. Flowers, birds, butterflies. Yeah, I made a lot of nice ones. This is another one of those little posters. I cut it out. There's a little vase of flowers. I think that looks really good. And a sheet from a hymnal with music on it. The things don't even have to go together. Here's from the same place as this cat. I got a dog picture of a bunch of dogs, dog days, and this cute little dog. And I just put this behind there, just using stuff up. There's another one of my embellishments. This one I kind of stuck with one color, and I really like how this one turned out. I really like that one. And then here's two ads, two different ads with their kids with their dogs and things, and so I use those, and I've had this a long time. It's two dogs like they're driving a Jeep, and I finally used it like they're coming out of that field. Yeah, and then I got a piece of pot of geraniums there, and I just really enjoyed making this book. I enjoy making all of my books. And then I got this girl and her dog and a bird, 24/7, you and me. And I got these cats and butterflies, and just using stuff up. Use it up. That's another one of those posters from the poster book, and this one is too. And I don't have much use for all these big things. I get a lot of things like, well, like I just got an order some scrapbooking for less. That's going to be my next video. But I get things like this, and I cut them up and use them. And sometimes I have big things like that. I can't really use those in my scrapbooks. But it looks good in my glue book. So I'm happy with that. And the last page, here's a cat, whatever. And I've had this toad picture, Toad, a abode, fat boy. It's a frog in this like a an upside down pot with a doorway cut into it, and I made that embellishment with it, added that. And the orange, I think the orange really looks good. And then on the back, this is blank. I might decorate that later. I don't know. That's just another sheet of scrapbook paper. I made it match this inside cover, but it doesn't have to. So that's my latest glue book. And I'll be making more. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye.